He thought he was Hercules. He fought as a gladiator. He renamed Rome after himself, and he ruled not with reason, but with fear, gold, and a wooden sword. This is the true story of Emperor Commodus, the man who turned the Roman Empire into a circus and nearly destroyed it in the process. Commodus was born into greatness the year 161 AD. His father, Marcus Aurelius, the last of the so-called 5 good emperors, a stoic, a philosopher, a reluctant ruler. But Commodus was none of those things. He was spoiled, entitled, trained in luxury, not war. By age 15, he was already co-emperor. By 19, he was emperor alone, and Rome would never be the same. Rome loved blood, and Commodus gave them plenty. He didn't just watch the games. He became the games. He dressed as a gladiator, fought wild animals with a spear, charged into the arena to the roar of the crowd as emperor and entertainer. But these fights were rigged. His opponents used blunted weapons or were already injured. Still, Commodus kept count of his victories. He claimed to have killed hundreds of men in the arena. To him, it was divine. He believed he was Hercules reborn, a living god on earth. Commodus didn't just perform in the arena. He performed everywhere. He renamed Rome to Colonia Commodiana, the colony of Commodus. He renamed the months after his own titles. He had statues built in his image, wearing lion skins, wielding a club. He even demanded to be addressed as Lucius Aelius Aurelius Commodus Augustus Herculeus Romanus Exuperatorius Amazonius Invictus Felix Pius. And yes, he made senators say it in full. As his ego grew, his cruelty deepened. He executed senators on a whim, sold important posts to the highest bidder. He auctioned the empire's future. His advisors either betrayed him or were killed. One was drowned in a bath of wine, another fed to wild beasts. Behind the scenes, Rome's institutions were rotting. No one governed. Only Commodus played, and the people, starving, overtaxed, exhausted, began to turn. In 10 AD, Commodus declared himself sole consul and gladiator-in-chief. He planned to open the new year fighting in the arena. The Senate was horrified. Enough was enough. His mistress, his chamberlain, and the head of the Praetorian Guard plotted together. They sent in a wrestler, a man named Narcissus, not to challenge him in the arena, but to strangle him in the bath. On New Year's Eve, Commodus was murdered. The man who thought himself a god died in silence, soaked and naked behind palace walls. His death didn't bring peace. It brought chaos. With no clear heir, Rome plunged into civil war. 5 emperors would rise and fall in 1 year. The economy shattered. Armies revolted. Borders cracked. Commodus hadn't just ruled poorly. He had unraveled the stability his father had built. The empire never fully recovered. It limped forward, but the cracks would never heal. Commodus represents the turning point. From leadership to performance, from empire to ego. He gave the people what they asked for: blood, noise, spectacle. But he gave them nothing to believe in. And that is how empires die. Not in one battle, but in 1,000 performances. In the end, Commodus wasn't just a madman. He was a mirror, showing Rome what it had become. Rome survived Commodus, but barely. And just a few generations later, one emperor would rise who saw the empire's future and abandoned Rome entirely. He called himself a god, he worshipped the sun, and he changed everything. His name was Constantine. Subscribe to Teduent for that story.